It's. I think it's more than a year ago than the check your phone tune, right? That's more than a year ago.
That's more than a year ago. So we released that on the 16th it was the 16th of April, 2020. I remember me and Johnny, who's the other half of Cheat Cuts, we flew out to LA in February to meet Pete and record Pete for the first time. I remember when we were flying out there, there were a couple of guys on the plane wearing masks, and we were like, right, something's going on. Something's happening here, you know. And anyway, like Pete was great, and we recorded the track there, and got the final take and stuff. And then, as we were sort of planning the release and doing all the promo and stuff like that, like the world just closed down, and so we released in lockdown. So it was kind of mad, like we did all the promo from home, and it was kind of like the record itself. It was kind of the perfect record to release in a time where everybody was locked away, and kind of the only way they could engage with the world was through their phone. So it was this sort of strange accident that kind of happened, really, But yeah, that was more than a year ago now.
That's interesting because it was everyone on their phones, and still we are on our phones. When did you write the lyrics for that song?
So for that song, I actually wrote a different version to what Pete did. So I wrote these songs, I wrote these lyrics that had definitely more of a train spotting, choose life, choose a job, choose washing machine type thing, And I kind of wanted to write a 21st century equivalent of that, because the world had changed so much, and the sort of the obvious thing, that people were doing a lot was obviously just engaging on the phones. And so it was just a day by day account of people just on their mobile phones, And so like we did that. And then the record was, because at that point, we didn't really know what the project was, it was all quite early stages. And then the track got passed around a few people. And then on my birthday, I got a call completely out of the blue. It was obviously a complete chance it was my birthday, but I got a call at like 1:30 a.m. It was like, oh, hey, this is Pete from Fall Out Boy. And I was like, okay, like what's going on? And he just said he loved the track, and he'd been trying to do something like that for a while. And he'd been working on Everybody Wears Sunscreen, a sort of a take on that. And he'd been trying to do a few bits like that, but felt that that this was sort of cool, and he just wanted to be involved in the project. And so he invited us out to LA, and we went out with him, and we sat down and sort of, I looked at what he'd worked on, and we sort of built on what I'd worked on, and basically together came up with definitely more of a call to arms sort of thing. And it just felt like the right step to go with that version first. And yeah, it was pretty crazy how it all came about, really, and then yeah, the rest is history. So
after that, there were totally different versions made in French, Korean, or Japanese version as well.
That's right. Yeah. So afterwards, we decided that. I mean, obviously, the first thing you do is you say, "What is check your phone in Korean?" Yeah. Which is "부탁하기는," of course. And then it was, "What's check your phone in French?" And blah 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 blah. I mean, we could have gone on and on, but we got two really great versions of check your phone. Yes, in South Korean and in French. And then we thought, I think the world had maybe had enough by then, so we had decided to maybe do something else.
Now it's a year later, and there is a totally new song, "You Make Me Wanna Dance," and that's a good soundtrack for this next half year, because the world is reopening. We can dance.
Well, again, we seem to have quite strange release timings. Again, we wrote that song about 2 years ago, so just after Check Your Phone, we kind of wrote that one as well. And that one wasn't a stream of consciousness sort of, that it wasn't a commentary on the world, and it wasn't like trying to make people think in the same way. It was a fun song that was just about dancing, you know, and about the energy you get from people that make you want to move and just sort of get up and live your life, you know. And so, you know, initially that song was sort of poured out. It was one of those songs that took very, very quick to write. And then over the next 18 months or so, we sort of developed that and really took our time with it. And, you know, we had all sorts of collaborators come in and play on that. We had a guy called Magnus Johansson who plays all the horns on our tracks. He wrote the main hook, the sort of the riff in the middle, when we sent him just for some ideas. We had a great songwriter and piano player called Max Wolfgang who writes with all the sort of the big pop stars in the UK. He sort of came in and played some piano on it. He's kind of one of the best out there. And then, you know, we got Dan Kaplan to sort of redo the vocal, which was brilliant. And, you know, he totally nailed it. And so that one feels like a real collaborative record, which we were really patient with, and we didn't want to put it out until we felt it was right. But then, obviously, having seen this summer and seen, especially in the UK, I know it's not the same across Europe at the moment, unfortunately, but in the UK, we've been very lucky that some festivals have started opening again, and to see that people can dance again and people are starting to be able to move around and connect and see people again is just a really lovely, exhilarating thing. And so I'm really happy with the timing of the song. It sort of feels like, for us anyway, a commemoration of that of sorts, you know.
Can we expect any big Cheap Cuts live shows in the future? What would it look like when you go on stage?
Okay. So, yeah, that's all to come. And we're having some very exciting conversations at the moment about that. And all will be revealed. But there will be two parts to this project. When we go out live, we will DJ and there'll be a live band.
Wow.
So you know, there'll be a sound system and a bit more of a live spectacle. So you'll see, you know, like we're sort of in the process of compiling a bit of a super group. So just that's all I can say at the moment.
There's happening a lot about Cheap Cuts. The song of last year was our summer anthem. This could be our summer anthem as well. You did a lot of bootlegs as well, from Baby Queen to the Beatles. I love everything you do, guys.
Oh, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate your support over there.
Please let us dance the next few years, because I want more and more and more of you guys.
Thank you. Look, we'll keep serving it up for you guys, man. Like I say, we really appreciate the support. It's really lovely for you to say.
Thanks, man, for joining me today. It was nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you, man. Take care. Nice
See you
day.
later. Cheers.
Bye. Bye.